One of those big mornings where you got to do some things. You got to do some things. Looks like we are now live on Facebook. So all of you that are out there in Blog Talk Radio Land, I appreciate you guys. If you listen to this Facebook after the fact, guys, then most certainly you want to be able to go to dial in to see the episodes or listen to the episode. At least you can listen to it on blogtalkradio.com/the grind 101. And you can also dial in live to the show. The show happens every Tuesday and Friday. So we bring you in and we close you out, right? Bring you in and we close you out. And every Tuesday and Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you go and check that out. You can dial in live to the show on Tuesdays and Fridays, ladies and gentlemen. And that number is 646-668-2564. Again, 646-668-2564, ladies and gentlemen. You can dial in, press the number 1. If you're on Facebook Live right now, press the number 1. That tells us that you have something to say. That raises your hand, and we see your little hand go up in the air. We can bring you live on the grind, guys. We're all over the world right now, guys, in different countries, not just locally, guys. We're everywhere. We're global. So, we're blessed for that. And even though the words that come out of our mouths, guys, even though they're words that things that we've going through, are going through, have gone through, or things that we know are 100% true, guys, that's when we say it on this show. So God bless you guys, man, and thank you for being a part. We most certainly want to get into some very controversial things, as always, because we know that if we don't say it the way that it should be said, then somebody may miss the true meaning of it. And we don't want to sugarcoat anything, but we want to be tasteful with everything that we do, right? So I'm gonna let Pam say hello to everybody. She just walked in the studio late, ladies and gentlemen. Why were you late?
Well, I'm late. I'm not late. Well, I'm late to the grind, but definitely not late to
late.
Friday, because we've been up since 4 a.m. Okay. Didn't lay down till about 1, right?
Yeah.
Been up since 4. And literally just got off of celebrating, people who have been able to create some accomplishments this week, some phenomenal things in what we do. And so we were celebrating some new success stories. And so now just, I realized that there's something called you wear a whole lot of hats. So I had to go get out of my TLC hat and put on my grind hat.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. But great morning to everybody out there jumping on the grind. I just want to say happy Friday to each and every one of you. Definitely great to be back with you on this Friday morning. As for us, we're entering a new week. Friday's the start of a new week for us, but to most, it's the weekend. So, happy Friday to each and everybody.
Okay, you out of frame a little bit.
So. Yeah, I noticed that. So I'm like,
let me move this a little
right?
bit.
I was just wondering, normally I'm not all the way on the other side of the room.
I'm looking out for you.
Yeah. We're a little dark, but it's okay.
All right, so for those on Blog Talk, Okay, now we're unmuted. I don't know how that happened.
All right, is that better?
All right, cool. All right, you can hear us now. Good deal. Hopefully you can hear us now. So guys, let's jump into this. Is this a mimosa?
Yeah, what's wrong with it?
Is any orange juice in it?
Yeah, I got some orange juice. Don't y'all see the orange juice?
I think she took like a squirter and squirted a drop of orange juice in there.
Last night. Our Thursday nights are around this house.
You put some vodka in there, right? Too.
I said it's celebration time. We waking up with some serious mimosas this morning. I done had my cup of coffee. Yeah, I got orange juice in it. You don't see it?
I see a little bit of. I see it. But man, this is Freedom Friday, and man, if you're not free, then get free.
Right.
If you don't have a plan to get free, then get you a plan to get free, because there's nothing like being able to wake up and do the things that you want to do. Get some things out of the way, not have to worry about money, not have to worry about time, worrying about who's telling you to be here and who's telling you to be there. Yeah, that was a dig at all of you that aren't free yet.
That's powerful.
Because you need somebody to tell you to get free.
Get free.
Because, man, you only have one life to live. That used to be a soap opera, and they were very dramatic on there. But you only have one life to live, and that one life, ladies and gentlemen, is going to go by in the blink of an eye, and you're going to be like, wow, I wish I would have done this. I could have done that. And here you are. And they said that the richest place on the planet is the graveyard, because so many hopes, dreams, and aspirations die with people, in the minds and in the hearts of people. So, man, get that thing out there, get it out there.
Yeah, you have to. And as I'm sitting here listening to you, I know we're on a whole nother topic, but almost got a little emotional. So sometimes when I have to just look off the screen and
keep getting our browser muted. So, okay.
Just to, wake up with the attitude of gratitude. Can y'all hear us now?
Yeah, they can hear now. Go ahead.
The attitude of gratitude, and just really reflecting back on something that, our sister Tanya Scott said, how, there was a time in which people still saying they can't hear us.
Can you hear now? It's just a little lag. It's got to be a lag.
Is it a lag, y'all?
I think it's a lag. Go ahead.
They're still saying, let's see. Okay, somebody say, I can hear you.
They got you. It's a lag in the comments.
Okay, thank you, Jimmy. All right. But yeah, just listening to Nate and just understanding that, we got to always be thankful for where we are, and to, have that attitude of gratitude, because, we were having a conversation with, beautiful sister of ours, Tanya Scott, and as she was sitting there and just reflecting on the ups and the downs of in life, and you sit back and you think, and you remember the times in which, you were living paycheck to paycheck. We were living paycheck to paycheck. And now to be in a position where God has given you something, a vehicle in which you're helping to change the lives of others, but you really look up and you're not even looking for the check. You don't even check for the check. And we just want to say to those of you out there that are grinding for your dream, that are getting up every day, that are fighting, that are making a decision to believe, that are, realizing and knowing that you too can have everything that your heart's desires. Keep grinding. Don't give up. Stay focused, because it's on the other side of the grind. It's on the other side of the fight. And when you realize that, you'll get up every single day and you'll keep on going and you'll keep on moving, and you won't worry about what other people think. You won't worry about what other people say. You won't worry about what other people do, but you'll keep your focus straight ahead on the very vision that God has given you, knowing that all things are possible to those that believe. And so, we had some smiles today. We had some laughs. We had some tears. And, on this Friday, just thankful, for all that God has done and all that God is doing, knowing that, there's a lot of celebration on the other side of where we are today for people that we're connected to, as we watch them grind every day, as we watch them fight every day, as we watch them believe every day, realizing that, our purpose is all about them. So, it's exciting to be in that position and to know that God has allowed you to be the vessel that he uses. So it's powerful. So yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to share that this morning. Keep grinding. Stay focused, y'all. And know that the best is yet to come for real. So we on this relationship tip, right? Relation tip.
Yeah, and
today.
you know, and we kind of wandered off to that because, you know, it's when you really think about it, you know, really life is in the heart of the people, and people that you can help, people that submit themselves to be helped, people that get it and get the journey. And it's the same in relationships. And you know, I entitled this this show, guys, it's not what you think. You know, it's not what you think. And
Right.
the post set to that is it's what you feel, right? So in everything you do in life, you know, God gave you that emotion, that feeling emotion, and in everything that you do in life, and you want to be able to feel good about it, right? You want to feel good about it, no matter what it is. Nobody wakes up and says, "I want to do something that makes me feel terrible today." So, you know, and relationships are no different. And, you know, when I make this statement that says it's not what you think, it's what you feel, when we're in relationships, we really use that feeling emotion, that, you know, the feeling as the feeling sense. We use that a lot in relationships. And, you know, we hear people that talk about relationships like we do. They tell us, you know, well, you should do this, or you should do that, or, you know, this is this and this is that. And they tell you what their opinion is, which is great, but you're a unique person, right? We can tell you exactly how we think you should feel,
Right.
and it may not be the way that makes you feel good.
Right.
So what makes you feel good? That's the question, right? And now once you figure out what makes you feel good, then you have to find somebody that can help you perpetuate that.
That's good.
Right? If you don't find that person that values the same things that you value and feels the same way that you feel about the relationship, then, you know, it's really not what you think. It's what you feel. You know, and you can't spend the better part of your life actually allowing people to tell you how you should feel. Right?
Oh, that's good.
It's how do you feel when I tell you that, you know, you should spend more time with your spouse? How does that make you feel? Right? Does it make you feel good, or does it make you feel bad? If it makes you feel bad, then the newsflash is that you're probably with the wrong person. Right? If you don't want to spend time with that person, if you don't want to build a lasting relationship with that person, guys, I hate to tell you, these are the hard words and the hard statements that you have to make. But there's a lot of cliches out there. But let's just think practically. You know, you maybe it started out one way, right? And we're going to get into some of the reasons why relationships are hard right now and why it's not what you think it is, right? But you know, people start out one way, but people change. Right. And people are going to change irregardless. That's just the way it is. Right. But you have to make a determination on whether or not they're changing to fit inside of the parameters that you can move with.
Right.
Right. And this is the hard part. Right. This is the hard part. And, you know, when you really start making that assessment and really thinking about, is this working for me? It's a deep feeling. It really is. And then then you look for some counsel, right? And you start to get into certain things and people telling you to do certain things. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't feel good to you, you're going to be miserable.
That's good. And that's actually, that's absolutely right. You know, a lot of it has to do with the compatibility between two people. And, you know, as you're speaking, this is definitely the case in, you know, a husband and wife situation, a girlfriend boyfriend situation, but it's real talk in any type of relationship, to where it's gotta be, mutually rewarding. It's gotta feel good. There has to be reciprocity. So if it's a one-sided, relationship, and the compatibility is not there, just like you just mentioned, that change is going to happen. It's inevitable. People change. But it's a matter of, are people changing for the good? Are people changing for the worse? And that change, because one person can change and the other person can stand still. And now that could be an issue also, where there's growth happening in a relationship, and one's growing and the other's not growing. So, but when you're on the same page and you have one vision and you're working towards that vision and you're growing together and you're moving together and you're riding that ride together, then that's what's going to be the very strength that you need and the foundation for you to be able to be in a relationship and to really overcome anything that comes your way. Real talk. So a lot of that plays a part in it, because even in what we've gone through, right? We've gone through a lot in life together. In the 31 years that Nate and I have been together, man, we can write a book. And we probably do need to write a book. But through the ups, through the downs, through the in and outs, the struggle, the good times, everything, many of the things that would have destroyed the average couple, it just made us stronger. But that was because of the foundation. Where we talk about, is love enough? But love is not enough. But that was the foundation. That's all we had. And the love is what opened up the door for everything else to fall right into place. Building our relationship, keeping God first, family, everything else in that order, realizing that there's been times, though, in which we've been out of balance, for real. Times in which we have to pull things back and we have to get things back into balance. But just like we talked about the other day, we have open communication where, I take the time to listen to what Nate is saying, or he takes the time to listen to what I am saying before those wheels fall all the way off. Wheels can wobble in a relationship if you're not careful, and if you don't pay attention to the signs that are happening. Then you look up and the wheel is on the ground, and now it's so much harder to put that vehicle back together, or whatever it is back together, because the signs were not paid attention to. Right. So yeah.
So and everything you're saying is true. And and I'm speaking from the heart, guys, because we have to notice the things around us. We really do. We have to, when you're let's just look at this, realistically. There are people that have been married for we've been married for 31 years. The numbers don't mean nothing when you're sleeping in separate beds.
Right.
Okay. I mean, we don't sleep in separate beds, but I know people that do, right? And it's just not
roommates.
Yeah, I mean, you become roommates. You find yourself staying together just because, just for the kids, and you grow apart so intently that it can't. Yeah, we'll have a conversation.
Okay.
So you grow apart over time because you don't communicate. And guys, I'm 51. I'll be 52 this year, right? The first part of my life, was one part. I call it the first half, right? The first half was the trial and error half. I think you don't want it to be, if you don't want it to be the same, right? You don't want it to be the same as you don't want it to have to be 50 years, right? So when you actually get to that point to where it's 20 or 30, you start noticing things, you change things, you communicate. But the second half is an eye opener. And when you most certainly don't want to go into your golden years miserable, right? So you have to communicate some things and to your spouse. And some of the conversations are not going to be the same, right? Some of the conversations are not going to be easy. Is everything in a relationship is not easy. So it's better to have the conversations now than the shoulda, coulda, woulda. Hindsight is always 20/20, but you can't live in hindsight, right? And I see a question that Eugene, I love the question. He says, and I love it, brother. This is the realest show ever. He said, is y'all sex lives still the same? You know, we're over 50 now, right? So the sex is not with the same veracity as it was when you were 20. You know what I'm saying? But you have 50-year-old sex and it's good. You know what I'm saying? And that's the answer to that question.
Right.
But you know, and honestly, this is the realest show ever. I love the question. I'm not shying away from it.
Right.
Because you know, but when you grow together and you're intertwined,
That's good.
you know, when you get 50, your bodies may not move the way they moved when you were 19
Right.
and 20,
Right.
you know. So you still have you know, so yeah, he said, because I noticed a lot of marriage breaks apart due to sexless nights. Absolutely.
Right.
You're dead on, Eugene. The two things that break up a relationship is sex and money. Okay.
Mhm.
And, you know, ladies, to a man, sex is a lot. Okay. It's a lot. To ladies, typically a woman's sex drive, they say that a woman's sex drive increases and a man's sex drive decreases over time. And I think when you look at this, and then we're getting on to some good stuff here. When you really look at this, it's when men and women, as we get older, we have testosterone issues, right?
Right.
Women, testosterone levels, they have estrogen levels, they have hormonal issues. Men, we get low T,
Decrease.
right? It decreases. Yeah, our actual testosterone level for a 20-year-old man, a 21-year-old man should be somewhere around 1,000.
You think it's the other way around.
You're right. It is. Is a woman is supposed to get her sex drive is supposed to increase.
No,
right?
It's the other way around. It decreases. I know one thing: when you start to go through menopause, that's a whole nother ball game.
So right. So it may be the other way around. Right. So but that's true though. You're right.
Oh,
I do. That's true because you go through a lot of things.
Right.
Right. Here's the thing. Here's the truth of it. When you start going through things, I think as men, we recognize that, right?
That's a good question.
We recognize that. We recognize that, you know, what you're going through. We recognize the hot flashes.
Yeah.
We recognize that, you know, you may get a little hormonal. We recognize all of those things. But here's the key. Whatever you can do to fix it, fix it. Start working on it. Because it's funny because I watched a TED Talk the other day about this exact same thing.
Did you really?
Yeah, and that's what I spend my time doing.
Answer that question on strike too. Nate can tell y'all about
the strike work. I have a older man. Yeah, strike.
Somebody said, "Does it?" I'm saying,
yeah, the strike works from
absolutely.
TLC. It works. Here's the thing. The thing. I don't want to get off on the strike, but the strike absolutely works. The strike is not for people that can't. It's for people that want to do it better. But if you can't, it's going to make you be able to. So that's the good thing about it. And it ladies, absolutely works. Don't drink.
That Blossom Me?
Yeah.
Don't sleep on it. Go ahead. What you
gonna
say?
I'm going to get on that in a minute. For the strike, if you take the strike, guys, don't consume a lot of alcohol, right? Because this is the realest show ever. What is it's going to do? It's going to increase the blood flow. Right. And when it increases the blood flow where you want it to increase the blood flow to, then you don't want to have added, because what alcohol does is it raises your blood level also. Right. So that's why a lot of people may say, well, you know, I had a headache from it. Right. Because now you're getting a headache from the alcohol, and plus, and I think it's that way for any, you know, male enhancement pill or male rejuvenation pill or anything like that. But getting back to, you know, whatever you do when things start to get, when you start to age, men age, your testosterone levels go down. Women, your testosterone levels go down, right? You get hormonal, your estrogen levels get out of whack, your pH back.
Right.
But we have a product called Blossom Me that Pam takes, and to me, taking that product is your bid. It's you saying, I want to do something about this. It's not a rite of passage for you to you don't get a free pass. This ain't a free get out of jail ticket where you can just say, well, shoot, I'm going through, you know, having these hot flashes, you know, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, and you're going through, and you're doing nothing. You're a female professional victim, but you're not doing anything. I told you guys at the beginning of this that sex is really ever. So we'll talk about it. Sex is important to men. Okay, it is important to us. Fellas, I'm looking out for y'all. Okay, it is important to us, right? But here's the thing: if you're like me, you ain't just coming and just giving me no sex just because you think you're supposed to. Right. It's got to be something that you want to do. And if you think you're supposed, I just do it just because you don't feel good. That means you're not putting forth the effort to try and get yourself better.
Right. Absolutely.
To pad that.
That's good. Right? And I just want to say something to Eugene. I don't know, maybe he's not a part of TLC, but our strike is an all natural. It's nothing in it. No negative side effects. It's an all natural male enhancement. So,
but if that works for you, Eugene,
yeah, because there are other natural things out there. Yeah,
keep
absolutely.
Using it. Yeah,
that's
definitely. Why we say to each his own. Some people swear by it. Some people say, you know, it made my hair hurt, and I'm telling you why it made my hair hurt before too, like any other. You know, and it's all natural. Right. That's the thing about it. It's all natural. It increases your blood flow all naturally. Right. So it still doesn't matter if you drink alcohol. Yeah, it's the same thing.
That's why only the Life Changers have access to it. Right now. You know, honestly, because the ones out there that aren't all natural, they're giving us more of our money because they hating on us for real.
Right. Those are the ones that want to keep poisoning.
Right.
And exercise, you're right.
Yes,
it's all about lifestyle, guys. And let's wrap this thing up. It's about lifestyle, right? So for anything that you do in life, you know, for you to transcend your age, you have to live a great lifestyle. Right. You do. So even for me, right, like I don't need strike, right? But I take strike because it's a prostate. It helps your prostate because it has all of the natural ingredients that help your prostate. And for a man, blood flow down there is what causes the issue. Right. So if you have a healthy prostate, which means increasing the blood flow, giving the right herbs to your prostate, then it can function properly, and then everything functions properly.
That's good.
So lifestyle is everything, right? So we're talking about, you know, the reasons why, like we got off onto the whole people sleeping in separate beds, and you know, and then Eugene brought up, you know, are there sexless nights? You know, absolutely, guys. It's the realest show ever, and you guys have a voice. You know, is there any sexless nights? Oh, yeah, there are sexless nights. You know, I mean,
you're gonna have those.
Yeah, you're gonna have those.
Especially when you got goals and dreams.
You just can't. You know, when we were
have balance.
when we were 20, 25, you know, it was like, yeah, let's get it in every night. You know, but it just things change over time.
Right.
But the question is, do they change for the better? Or do they change for the worse? And is it within your level of tolerance? If you're a 55, 60-year-old man and you're a nymphomaniac, you probably not, you want to find another nymphomaniac, right? You want to find somebody that wanted 3-4 times a day, every day, right? So you're not going to be compatible. Yeah, you're not going to. So your tolerance level you're out of tolerance. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's true.
So answer this last question on this. How do you know your wife was the woman you wanted to spend the rest of your life with? And was you scared when you proposed? Because I'm ready to ask my girl, but I'm scared.
And he said, because I love my girl, but I hate some of her ways. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. That's a good question. You know, for me,
it's a feeling.
For me, I'm just gonna be straight up with you guys, okay? Because I'm not getting ready to get into. I saw her, I knew I loved her, and I did not know I loved her. She looked good, right? She was sexy.
But now he's been with her for a while. I'm sure.
Well, I mean, but still, I'm giving him the backstory. Right. Okay. It was lust at first sight, like it is for everybody else. You see something you like, you want to talk to her, you develop a relationship, you figure out if you love her or not. Does she have the values and the quality that you want to help raise your children?
Right.
Okay. And if she does have those values and those qualities, then you say, okay, the things that I don't like that she does, are they within my level of tolerance? Because once you say I do, at that point, you know, you can't say, well, shoot, I never did like what you did. that
Right.
one thing that you did, couldn't stand that. Well, you should have said that before you married her.
Absolutely.
If that was something that, and if it's a deal breaker for her, then you guys won't go through wasting half your life together.
That's true.
Right.
And one of the things that you got to realize, especially if you're looking into going into a relationship or committing or getting married or what have you, that what's happening now, don't feel like you can change it once you get married. And or you know, like, because sometimes we've had a lot of people have come to us. Many people don't realize, but even in the past, Nate and I in ministry, we were over the marriage ministry. We were even over the singles ministry as married couples, because we were once single, right? And a lot of the times people would bring things to different issues, and one of the things that would be, they were at the point of saying we're done, we're over, and they would begin to say, well, you know what, they didn't do this before we got married, or these weren't the things, and those signs were there before they got married. They didn't just start. And many times, sometimes you think that when you go into a relationship,
but sometimes
you can change. But a lot of it, sometimes they're not. Sometimes people do change.
Can
but
fake
there were
pretty
some
good.
there were some issues that were definitely things that were happening before they got together. They didn't want to pay attention to the signs before they got together. And now here they are in this relationship thinking that they're going to change the person, and you cannot change anybody. A person has to want to change. Okay. And so sometimes that could be, what happens in a relationship,
Right.
You can't change anybody. They have to want to change.
And Eugene, brother, I love your transparency, man. It's helping a lot of people. That's awesome. You said that's what I need, because it's what I am. That's what I am. And my girlfriend doesn't like 3-4 times a day. And I started having me look at other women, but I love my queen. So now you ask yourself, what do you love about your queen? What do you love about your queen? And that the list of what you love about your queen has to outweigh the things that you don't like, right? So now you have to ask yourself, is this enough for me to spend the rest of my life with her? Because I can't use this later down the road, when I knew it was an issue, right? In the beginning,
right? Because
if you're looking at other women because of it's a sexual thing and that's not what she likes, but you like it, I'm going to tell you ahead of time that love's not going to keep that together. That's going to tear you guys apart.
That's going to be a problem,
right? You're going to change unless you somehow change, and because she don't want it like that, then you do. You're going to always look for that outside, right? So she's got to be enough for you, right? So that means, ladies, here's the onus. And I see another question.
But you have
so
to
young
always
lady says, how do you communicate? But here's the onus that the ladies have for for their men. Ladies, you have to be that thing. Men, you have to be that thing. It's not just the ladies, but it's good that what Eugene said, because I said in the beginning of this show that men, we place a lot of value on sex. Okay, you guys should know that, and I keep saying that, so you guys
right. But that can't be the foundation of the
relationship. That can't be the foundation of the relationship, but it can be. It's a decision. It's a decision point in a relationship, because it's one of the things that kills relationships. Okay, sex and money. So it has to be addressed, right? So here's the thing: when you're really thinking about how this all works, ladies and gentlemen. If I look at Pam's got to be giving me the things I want in our relationship, so that when somebody else whispers it in my ear, I'm like, well, shoot, I'm getting that at home. I'm good, and vice versa, right? So Pam goes out and guys are geared up around, well, I can give you this and I can give you that. Well, Pam don't want for nothing. So you can say you're gonna give her money all you want. She has that. She can buy what she want to buy, So now we're covered on that end, because women are more geared towards security. Right. So we're covered on that end. So you have to make sure that there are no gaps in between there. So for men, if we place a lot of value, men place a lot of value on family, right? We love family because we are protectors of our family. Like I said, sex is a big thing for us. So ladies, all right, you have to make sure that you are feeding the need, right? And so that means you can't use excuses. Same with you guys. If you
That's in the word.
if you got low teeth, yeah. But see, the word says you can't withhold yourself, but it's deeper than that.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Uh-huh.
You don't want to be doing something but like, oh, let me go get this joker some.
No, it's a feeling.
know,
Like it's got
no,
right.
It's you have to want
right.
to.
You gotta want
right?
to. Otherwise, it's not even.
Yeah.
real.
So even with men, you got like me, Pam. If I know I'm getting 50, Pam will tell you, I got prostate medication, herbs that I take, even our products here that I take, guys, to keep my prostate going the right way, right? So I have a responsibility to stay vigilant, right? Just like Pam has a responsibility. You can't be like, oh, well, I'm going through that thing, and you've been going through that thing for 2 years now. Right? And then you get mad because your man looking at another woman, right? He loves you. Yeah. He loves you, but you're negating the fact that the two things that break relationships up are sex and money.
Yes.
Okay. So let's just keep it real, guys. So another young lady asked a question.
I think it was
she said,
Luana.
Yeah, she said, how do you communicate with your husband?
Oh, Teresa. Teresa.
Is that what she said?
Yeah. How do I communicate with him better?
So the way you communicate with your husband better is men have I'm just going to put this out there, guys. We do have an ego. It's the same ego that we leave the house with and we fight the world with. Okay. It's the same ego when we go to corporate America and we have to deal with a-holes on the job. Right. So it's the same lion ego that we have to bring home, but it's different. We tone it down some. So here's the thing. Men like to have their ego stroked. Right. It's just men and for the man that says, I ain't got no ego, he's lying, because if he don't got no ego, that means he don't have no testosterone. Right. So he has an ego. We want to feel needed. Yeah. Right. Absolutely. If we don't, the moment we stop feeling needed is the moment we start trying to find somebody that needs us. Check out.
So if you feel
no. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen very closely. Mm-hmm. Okay. The moment we stop feeling needed is the moment we start trying to find someone that does need us. Mm-hmm. That's, ladies, I want y'all to hear that. Okay. Women, the moment they stop feeling secure is the moment they start looking for somebody to secure them. Mm-hmm. Okay. May not be a sexual thing with a woman, but it's a security thing with a woman. Right. For a man, we're not as deep as y'all, ladies. We're not as emotional as y'all. I'm just gonna keep it 100. We need to we need to feel like there's stuff for us to do around here. For all of y'all that say, I got it all figured out, I don't need no man, then you probably never find a man. Right? Because we look for somebody that needs us. Right? We're the superheroes. If you don't want to treat us like if you don't want to treat us, I'm just giving you guys the raw facts. Okay. If you don't want to treat us like a superhero, that's not taking anything from you. You guys are super women. We get it. Right. As a matter of fact, you can be superwoman all by yourself. You don't need a man. Well, if you don't need a man, then you're not looking for one. So I'm not offending you. Right. But if you need a man, if you want a man in your life, yeah, you make money, you can take care of yourself. But if you're saying, I do want to get married, then there's a need for a man. Right. So that means you have to show the man that you need him. That doesn't mean that you're going to be like, baby ain't got no money. Can you give me $50? No, I don't give Pam no money. Pam gonna get her own money from the bank when she wanted. She got her own card. Both of our names are on it. We spend money when we want to spend money.
Oh, that's a whole nother ball game.
That's a whole nother show.
We won't even go
that's a whole nother show because you don't get somebody mad. Don't told you not to go there. Don't go there. All right, sorry,
baby,
y'all.
You pay this bill, I pay that one. Yet. That's all. No. Ooh, we won't go there.
That's a whole nother show. So
that's a whole nother show.
So yeah, but we want to speak to you guys in
lights cut off because you were supposed to pay the bill.
See, so she gonna go.
I'm sorry. Okay, all right. We won't go there today. It's like,
but that's another facet that we're gonna talk about. Maybe we talk about that on Tuesday and try to get you guys back on track.
I don't know if that might make us lose some followers.
Yeah, that's okay. But we're gonna say it because this is the realest show ever, and that's what we do.
Oh my God!
So let's look at some of these points of discussion that we got, which is the transition, because we said relationships are harder today, and man, that's the God's honest truth. It is. Relationships are harder. And if you don't think that right now, that means that you're not in a relationship, right? So it's not what you think it is, and that's what's up, Bishop Jeff Battle, my brother, that's my best friend, y'all. So when we think about this thing, it's not what you think it is, right?
Eugene.
So we've talked about everything from lust to love to sex. Are you getting it? Are you not? Is it the same as it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago? So we've covered all of that, right? We know what a man focuses on. We know what a woman focuses on. So we're talking about the transitions right now that have happened to make relationships so hard, right? When you think about them in a practical form, guys, we know that God is the head of any relationship. If God's not the head, then you don't have a snowball's chance in hell of having a relationship. Let's just keep it 100, right? So keeping God at the head, it keeps something for both of you guys to keep both of you guys honest. I said hell is not a bad word. Hell is a place.
No, but I'm just trying to figure out that quote.
I said, yeah. If you don't have God at the head, then you don't have a snowball's chance in hell of having a productive relationship. Okay, and that's reality. So, man, one of the transitions is we talked about last week. We ended up on feelings became subliminal messages. Right. You walk around the house, and you do certain things to make your spouse mad. Right? Or you don't do certain things. You pee on the toilet seat, fellas, and then don't even lift it up and pee on the toilet seat. Like she's gonna sit on that. You know what I'm saying? I've never personally done that because that's just nasty, but that's just the nastiest thing that I can think to come to mind. I'm that dude that lift the seat up, pee, and then take tissue and wipe the rim. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to see the pee when I lift it. Some of y'all nasty dudes pee on the rim and don't care. Y'all lifting it. It's like 75 million germs there. And you're like, well, shoot, when I let this down, ain't nobody going to see it but me the next time. I'm just saying, this is the realest show ever.
So basically, you're not in tune with your spouse's feelings on how they feel about certain situations.
Oh, sometimes you in tune because you know what piss them off, right? I'm gonna put this dish over here, not even rinse it out, because I know that's gonna piss her off. Be like, why you ain't putting this dish away? Oh, now you talking to me. Oh, you didn't want to talk to me before. So now you want to talk to me about the dish. Oh, gosh. Right? These are subliminal messages that you send, instead of just communicating.
You know how to push each other's buttons.
Communication is about listening. Guys, you gotta listen. When she talks, you gotta listen. When he talks, you gotta listen. And it goes back to what I think she said, I forget her name, Luana said about how do I communicate with my husband? You communicate with him by listening to him, right? And listening to what his needs are, right? And if his needs fit the parameters of what you can offer, right? Then why are you not offering those needs? Why are you not filling those needs? Fellas, the same thing.
And you have to.
Sometimes your wife may say, well, I'm gonna need you to go out there and I'm gonna need you to dig up them hedges and plant some more hedges. I'm like, well, that's not what I do. That's not my expertise. I can't do that. I can hire somebody to do it. Right. And you get that done if she wants it done. Right. But are the needs that are being met that she wants met or he wants met inside of the parameters of what you are capable of doing?
Right. And and I just want to say, I have to reiterate that whole listening piece and the importance of it, because there's a difference between hearing and listening. And I know that this has been an area, especially within recent, that I have to work on. Because Nate will, he'll be trying to talk to me and he'll be saying stuff to me and I won't be. And, sometimes ladies, we could be so caught up in doing everything else. Okay. Trying to handle the things that we need to handle, trying to handle the things that we need to handle for everybody else. And if we don't pay attention, we're not listening to our spouse. Okay. And we have to really take the time to slow down, because I know that that's one of the things that pisses Nate off. Okay. Right. And I find myself, because of all that I got going on, all that I'm trying to do, to where he'll be telling me something.
You quantified that.
Yeah. I'm just serious.
That pisses Nate off.
Yeah, I know it does.
Yeah,
I know it does.
She didn't say make Nate mad.
No, I'm here today. I'm because we're not perfect. And so these are the things that I battle with, but I have to realize, I recognize, and there's times in which I don't catch it at that moment. And I have to go back and I have to apologize. I have to check his temperature. Okay. I check his temperature. Oh my God, did I piss him off? Because for real, he's trying to have a conversation with me. And because I'm so caught up, we're doing everything else, building a global business, helping to change the world. If we don't pay attention, ladies, to our man, we're gonna look up and they're gonna find somebody else that's listening to him. So
stop right there. Stop right there. I like what you just said because that's real. Because we're gonna find somebody else to listen to us, right?
right.
Mind you, me.
Right.
But here's the thing: what she just said, right? She said, "I'm caught up. I'm trying to build a global business and save the world." Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something. When y'all say "I do," you marry that woman or that man, you guys are a unit.
Yes.
Okay. You do everything together except pee and poop. Okay? That's just the way it is. So when I went to that extreme because you guys got to understand there's no way, I'm saying tell you, there's no way that I could be the man that I am today if it wasn't for her. Right? If there's no way I can be the father that I am today if it was not for her. Ladies, gentlemen, if you think for one iota of a second that you do all of this by yourself,
right,
it is going to be your downfall.
Absolutely.
Okay, because pride precedes the fall.
Right.
So if you want to know how to communicate with your spouse, guys, stop trying to make it seem like you do everything yourself, because you don't.
And that just kind of brings me to maybe I shouldn't even go here. Like the battle, maybe I shouldn't even go here. I'm just going to say, and what we do for a living. Maybe I shouldn't even go there because that's been a battle. No,
don't go there. Right?
Don't go there.
Well, I mean, this is the realest show ever, but that's going to spin us off into something else. But if you feel you want to go there, then you.
Well, the only thing I'm saying, and that's so true. It's together. It's like for real. Together, Nate and I get things done. And many times, even though, like in the business that we do and the team that we lead, in the very beginning, I was in the forefront. I drank the tea. I lost 20 pounds in 31 days. I created the original story. And so what happens is it's been downplayed because of the fact that I was in the forefront. But like for real, people don't understand. I couldn't have done any of that without my husband right there by my side. Without him, stepping up and doing things that he normally wasn't used to doing, without him stepping up and helping to do things that was behind the scene. And it's unfortunate that, it's viewed like that. It's viewed like that to a lot of people. And it's been one of the battles that we've had to really fight and just overcome. But it's so true that, when Nate is successful, it's because I'm there. I don't care if I'm nowhere where people could see me, but in his success, when he was a successful 6-figure a year engineer out there in the world, building teams around the world. Oh, trust, know, and believe he wouldn't have been where he was had I not been there right by his side. Just like in the beginning, of us starting TLC, but people don't realize that. And people don't.
Well, in the beginning, let's talk about that a little bit, because in the beginning, with us starting TLC,
them lights, hot between the lights.
It was some hot flashes, y'all.
No, I'm not having no hot flashes
because I'm not.
My velocity works, but it's the lights and
I told y'all make your blood pressure go up. So in the beginning of us starting, this is an example for you guys, so because I want to separate this thing for a moment as well.
But we want to stay on point. But I just thought about that.
Because this is good, because
it's
we need a lesson. It's a lesson in togetherness, right? So in the beginning, it was, when Pam started, I was still looking for a job, yada yada yada. So here we are, doing this thing, and yeah, I'm supporting. I'm doing what I need to do to help her move. But people on the outside don't see that, right? But here's the thing. It doesn't matter what people on the outside see, right? Because in the beginning, it didn't bother me. But when I decided that I was going to check in, 7 months later and officially, so everybody can see me build the business with Pam, I checked in, 4 months before that, right? And, in the background doing doing what I do, shipping out products and brainstorming with Pam on what are we going to do with the team now. Boom. I wasn't visible to the outside world, right? But 7 months, I became visible. So I worked my butt off to make sure that, okay, I'm building this business side by side with my wife for the world to see, right? But ladies, that was just our story. Gentlemen, that was just our story.
Right.
Whenever you get the opportunity to share with the world, irregardless of where your spouse is, and whether, I don't care if you got a cake business, right? If you got a cake business, you making cakes, and you know that your spouse is there helping you make them cakes, helping you with advice, boom, 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 helping you build that business in the trenches,
rubbing your feet
in the trenches, right? You, ladies, gentlemen, this is for both parties, guys. You should always give an honor to God, and you should give an honor to your spouse.
Absolutely.
Bottom line, everybody else comes after that, right? Because we can't keep saying it's God, family, and then business, right? Everybody else after that is business. Some of y'all I see, y'all get up to do things and y'all pump your chest like you did it all. And you didn't do it all, right? Reward the people that help you get where you are. That's called edification, but it starts at home. Okay.
Right.
And if you understand that, guys, it'll take you a long, long way.
That's good.
Okay. So it's not that
we got through none of our topics today.
We did, but that's all right.
Got through one.
That's all right. We're gonna get through one more here or two more. We talked about feelings become subliminal. We talked about sex. Sex became easy. Sex became easy.
We started off with that, so we'll end with this.
Yes, and it's good. It's good because we say sex became easy because sex in relationships and marriages becomes more challenging because things become more demanding,
right? As
you try and build certain things, right? But there's still a responsibility. And you guys, when you stop feeling like you want to have sex with your spouse, then there's something wrong.
That's a problem. Yeah, something wrong.
There's something wrong. When you don't want to, then you need to communicate to your spouse why you don't want to. This is why, because man, shoot, every time, you don't get in bed to such and such. You don't do this, you don't do that. You come into bed with, looking like Grandma Susie. I ain't attracted to that. Men are visual. We're visual. Okay. Ladies, we are visual. Okay. I don't know, women may be visual too. But for us, if we see it, it's like, okay, that's nice. It puts us in the mood, right? For me, I'm not a big lingerie dude. I'm like, cool, you want to put some lingerie on? Cool, I'm a birthday suit dude. You know what I'm saying? That birthday suit on, we good, right?
Right.
See what I'm saying? So sex became easy outside, right? So beware. You can walk out that door and sleep with a lot of people. That's why sex became easy. You remember back in the day when it was not fashionable to show everything that you owned.
Right.
Ladies, you wanted to cover up because you were protecting what you had for your man. You ain't giving everybody a sneak peek at what your man's supposed to be getting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now it's, you know what? I'm going to show you everything.
Not just on the street, but all on social media.
If I show you everything I got, then you're going to slide in my DM and holler at me. If I'm going to be out in the street, you're going to ease over and try to talk to me. That's how it works. So sex became easy. So that's why sex in marriages, guys, it got null and void.
Right.
Because you got women out there just giving away the booty willy-nilly, right? You got men out there giving away everything willy-nilly. Right?
Willy-nilly.
So it's willy-nilly, just free for all. It's a sex free for all, right?
Right.
And all of that.
What's left to the imagination?
Right, right. Just innocent, and it's tacky.
Right.
Yeah, it's very tacky.
What?
It's nasty and it's dangerous.
Right.
It's funny because.
And then you wonder why you attract who you attract in your life. Like seriously.
Look, there was Did I talk about this?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is how this is the realest show ever.
Close with this.
This is the realest show ever. No, we got hold on. Let me see something. Which one over the end on? I'm gonna end on 5, so we got 5 more to do. And we got one more to give. But somebody sent me this, and this was real, right?
Okay.
There was a female pastor that says that her vaginal fluid is curing men of erectile dysfunction. I'm sorry, not of fertility issues. I read the article. It was a real article. And I'm like, what have we come to? She is sleeping with all of her male members that have fertility issues, that basically soldiers don't march no more. She's sleeping with them, and when her vaginal fluid hits their manhood, then they're instantly cured. She heard this from God. She got it. It's who she is. It's her calling. So I agree with what Jacinda said. It's tacky and it's nasty, because now you're putting this out. And it's so crazy, because it's not that she said, it's not that what she was saying.
But who are these people that believe this?
That's what I mean.
Worse.
It's not that it doesn't surprise me what she's saying.
What are they reading?
But these are things, stuff like this is stuff that you whisper to somebody in closed rooms if you believe it. Like, I believe that my vaginal fluid helps fertility issues in men. You whisper that to somebody. You don't say that in an article with a microphone and they write it and you put your picture on it, right? And you back it up. And you do audio. You guys don't believe me? Look it up. Okay? Look it up. But that's what the world is coming to.
Yeah,
and it's not that they're saying it's because people are actually believing it. Mm-hmm. That's why they're saying it. Mm. Right? So there must be a platform for it of a believability, and everybody's like, okay, yeah, there's a group of people that actually believe her and are allowing her to do it. So, guys, the last one, the word love is used out of context.
That's true.
Whew.
It's used a lot.
You know what? Sometimes we use the word love out of context by we be arguing and talk. I got this issue, you got that issue. We talking about it, we discussing it heated, and I say, you know what, I love you. That didn't fix the that didn't fix the problem.
Right.
It didn't fix the problem.
Right.
You still have the problem. You just said I love you and didn't talk about it.
Right.
What is the issue? And so your answer should be, I know you love me, but let's talk about this.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
Let's talk about this, because this is what's stopping us from moving together, moving forward together. Either it may be physically, it may be mentally, it may be financially. This is what's causing us the issue. So we have to talk about it. So, which is the whole thing of communication.
I agree. I agree. The word is used loosely. And, that again, that feeling has to be behind it. When it's true love, that feeling is behind it, which means that it's going to be the very thing that fixes any issue. When you keep the communication, the avenue open, and you're able to communicate with one another, that's going to be the very thing that allows you to get through every single challenge, because relationships are something that you got to work on every single day. You have to continue to grow them every day. You have to keep them alive every single day. If at 31 years, Nate and I, for us to be able to be at home with each other, building a business together all the time, we have to take the time out, even if we're working, we're like, okay, there's times in which we're separate. There's times in which we say, okay, baby, let's work together. Let's sit here. Let's go out here. Let's go do this today. We take the time, when we're not social distancing, how can we get out and just do us for a minute, and I've had to learn, ladies, that during that time, you got to put the phone down. Okay. I talked about that the other day. Put that phone down and stop allowing the phone, the texting, everything to take away from your relationship, because technology is doing that. It's killing relationships, and you got to be able to listen. And I think that we do it more than the men out there. I know I do it. But I've learned to say, you know what? I don't care how many y'all text me. Love y'all, team, for real. But
what you focus on grows, guys.
Let me put it over here for a minute.
Yeah, what you focus on grows. Here's the thing. So nobody's saying that you can't focus on building your business on social media. Okay.
Oh,
Nobody's
no.
saying that.
I'm
But
not
here's
saying
the
that, but
thing.
you gotta have a.
You got to
be
know
able
how to.
Yeah.
It's just like you
Shoot,
watering.
please. We need
You
social
watering
media.
a plant. When you water the plant, you water all of the roots. The water filters down to all of the roots, right?
Right.
If you tell somebody that you love them on social media, then the answer should be is, yeah, I know you love me. You're supposed to love me, right? That's just what you're supposed to do. But do you like me though? Do you
Right.
like me? That's a completely different answer. But when it comes for your house, guys,
Because I think
focus on your spouse.
Right.
And
That's
I don't know.
true.
I'm just gonna say
Because
that,
even
guys.
Eugene
Very
said that
intimidating.
he loved his girl, but he don't like some of her ways,
Yeah.
and that's
Oh,
very possible.
I love Pam, but there's stuff she do I don't like.
Right. And
She
vice
loves
versa.
me, and the stuff I do that
I'd
she
be
don't like.
what in the world?
But it's not a deal breaker
No,
for
it's
her,
not a deal
obviously,
breaker.
because she's still here,
Right.
right? So when it becomes a deal breaker,
That's
I'm gonna be
fine.
like, hey, let's sit down, let's have a talk.
Right.
Let's check because
Right.
yeah, this is a problem for me right now. And
Right. And that's
yeah.
that communication. If you don't have that, you don't have nothing.
And you should be, and
For
you
real.
can't. Here's the word. You can't tell somebody that. Well, you shouldn't feel that way. What the heck you mean you shouldn't feel that way?
Right.
It's how they feel.
Right. We each have a right to our own opinions and a right to our own feelings.
Right.
And I know, sometimes ladies, we can be the one that, we hold stuff in. I know I used to be that way. I would hold stuff in. It were things that, Nate would do, and it would piss me off. All right.
I love that new word you adopted.
And for real. And I would hold everything in, and that's not good, because then you look up and you start to harbor these feelings, and you feel some kind of way, and you start to act that way. Okay. And you may not even realize it. And but it's going to come out in that relationship. So you got to take the time to slow down. You got to take the time to be able to communicate, and it's got to be a two-way street. So if you're with somebody who's not willing to listen, that's a problem. But you got to remember, it's not what you say, it's how you say it too.
Right.
That's very important
on both sides.
It's how you say
kiss
it. You can't
somebody's butt,
try to
name
have a
and kiss your
conversation and you're condemning or you're accusing anything. It's your wording that's going to make that conversation end up in the best direction, and it can possibly end up with the best solution in order to solve that issue that is at hand. It's all about how you say these things. For
Absolutely.
real. Yeah, that's very
man.
important.
So man, there's so much on these topics.
Right, we
that
didn't even get through what we got through too.
And relationships are real. I know we have fun, we laugh about it,
right?
Things of that nature, but relationships are real, and relationship problems are real. We want to share the good and the bad,
right?
Because there are some very good things about that happens in relationships, and it's the things that keep relationships moving, right? So nobody wants to be in a relationship where they feel undervalued, right? And they're stressed out all the time, and they're just not happy. So if you have any of those issues going on in your relationship, I encourage you guys to, we encourage you to sit down and talk to your spouse, pour your heart out to them, because nobody expects for you to put your vision, your aspirations, where we have a vision for our family, and how she achieves the vision, how she helps achieve that vision may be different, right? It may take her, down this path, which is still going the right way. Mine may take me down this path, still going the right way, but we're going to meet somewhere down the road, but we're still driving for the same thing. I can't expect the individuality of this thing is that she's a unique person. She does things differently than I do.
Right.
I have to
individuals
respect that,
in a relationship.
Right? Yeah, I have to respect that.
You don't lose your individuality.
You don't lose your individuality. You don't become your spouse. You have your own things that you want to do, but you want your spouse to support you in what you do. Right. And if your spouse supports you in what you do, then, give him the accolades or give her the accolades for it. It's God, family, and then everybody else. Okay.
Absolutely.
Take care of home first, guys.
Yeah, we got a lot we can share. We'll take y'all back, but you got to realize that as we close this out, our relationship was not always where it is today. It grew to this in 31 years. And, Nate and I could take you back to the times in which, for real, the struggle was real, in our relationship, big time. And, but, we got through every single thing, every single hurdle, every single fight, every single issue, for real, we've been through it all. But, at the end of the day, with love as the foundation, and communication, trust, a lot of different things that we had in our relationship, with God being first, just like Nate said, without that, you don't have a snowball's chance in hell. Is it what you said? In order for it to survive. That's true, because the world is going to be coming at you in every single direction. So you got to keep him first.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to continuing to share with you on Tuesday morning as we continue this series on relationships. You know,
guys, we
the
appreciate
power
you
of
guys being
partnership.
a part.
So thanks for being a part, and have yourself an amazing weekend. All right, as we are, you know, definitely in a season in which we realize that the best is yet to come as we stay focused on the future. See ya on Tuesday.
God bless y'all, man. You're welcome.
You're welcome. See y'all on Tuesday.
But it was all spiritual, blended on salvation, not your education. I know that things have been hard on you. You said good, you got caught on you. Let's keep it moving, don't quit, make sure that God is upon it.
You guys are welcome. You're welcome, man. Thank you guys for being a part. Thank you guys for the real comments. I appreciate that. Appreciate your transparency. Love it.
Get all in, 99 won't do. Everybody will be saying, it's not God looks good on you. It's not you. It's not even you. God looks good on you. Look around. Tell somebody, say, no matter how you feel, you have to keep it free. God looks good on you. It's not your hair, it's not your clothes, no. God looks good on you. It's not your shoes, it's not even you. God looks good on you. Look around, tell somebody, you got it going on because of who's sitting on the throne. It's not your hair, it's not your clothes, no. God looks good on you. It's not your shoes, it's not even you. God looks good on you. Look around, tell somebody, God looks good on you. No matter how you feel, you have to keep it free.
See y'all later, guys. Love y'all. God bless y'all,
Love
man.
you.
We'll see you on
God bless you.
Tuesday.
See you later.